Yes, so I've put the topic of discussion for this morning in the chat. And today I thought we should talk about the importance of self-assessment or self-evaluation. And here I'm just thinking about a simple, assessment, individual assessment, and this could be on many levels in your personal life, in your professional life, or at any other level, depending on the goals and ambitions that you have personally set for yourself. So, but generally, I just want us to think about why is it necessary to just sit down, to just, just get some time, some alone time to just look back at everything you have done, your actions, any activities or responsibilities, or just anything really that you have, undertaken, and evaluate yourself. I know we are talking about it in a general way, but I would like to just probably limit this discussion to us as a Moracle team. So I will just probably want us to think about it in a very limited way of, okay, personally in your life and professionally probably at Moracle, and what you do at Moracle and for the clients at Moracle. I know every one of us has their own personal goals, personal objectives in life and ambitions that we do not need to talk about, that we do not need really to discuss here, but just for the purpose of, understanding, the topic and why, and appreciate why it is quite important to just evaluate yourself after a given period of time, in life, in wherever you are, wherever you go, just to appreciate why it is necessary to just sit down and actually evaluate yourself. So I am just going to say that I believe it is important to self-assess, to self-evaluate, because then it gives you an idea of how far you have gone, what progress you have made, or where did you fall short, what gap is there in your life that needs to be filled, or what improvements do you need to make on whatever action that you are on about. So probably in your personal life, you have your own goals. You have, I'll just give an example. Maybe you had set some objectives for the month of January that just ended, that you will probably acquire something, maybe an asset or any resource, or maybe you just acquire a new skill, maybe take a course and probably finish it by the end of the month. And so when you sit down to evaluate the month and the goals that you had set for the month, for example, it could be, a periodic thing, maybe after 3 months, maybe 6 months, maybe a year, maybe even 5 years. So just sitting down to just go back and just look at everything that has happened in a period of time and just assess that and mark it against the goals that you had set for yourself. I think it is quite important because then you are able to really see things directly and clearly. You give time to your goals and objectives that you have set for yourself, and actually learn from them in a way, and this is probably by identifying what you did well, what you didn't do well, what you can improve on, what can you do better next time, or if you actually achieved that goal, if you really performed as expected and beyond, then appreciate yourself, yeah? Then you are able to appreciate yourself, and I think in a way this will build some sort of confidence, some confidence, self-confidence, because then you are able to see the progress that you made, or you are able to see the skills or how improved you are, or what development you made, what advancement you made in your life, or maybe professionally, yeah? So I'm thinking maybe, I know that our accounting and finance team have just been, submitting accounts and all that. And I know when they sit down and look at what has been accomplished before the deadlines, then you're able to actually appreciate the work that you did. You're able to appreciate the efforts that you made, and probably also identify where you didn't do very much well, or maybe you didn't do quite well as expected, or not just from your colleagues or your team members, but also from yourself. Maybe you had set some expectations for yourself and say, I would like to have completed this and this by this specific date. And so you're able to also see if actually made it as you expected of yourself, or also as it was expected from you. from your team members or superior supervisor or not, so that you know then that, okay, in the next phase, in the next period, if I'm supposed to improve on this, this is how it should go. This is what I should adopt. This is the, a better solution that I can probably apply next time. So I think that's how important it is to just sit down and evaluate yourself. I think it is quite an important thing for each and everyone really to appreciate. It could just be, in your other personal life, maybe not professionally. You could be having, you could be an entrepreneur, having some actions that you want to undertake or you already undertook. And, you evaluate it. It could be a business, a side hustle, as they call it, a side business that you do apart from Moracle and any other work that you do, just something else that you are doing. It could just be probably, a new habit that you set yourself. I know as we started the year, as we came back from the holidays, we tried to talk about, resolutions, New Year resolutions and all that, just, coming up with some new things and some new goals that you want to set for yourself. And then, of course, at some point, this allowing you to evaluate yourself, I think it is good to just keep that in mind every time, because then we can get really busy, we can have a lot of things going on and forget to just sit back, relax, and actually look at what you're doing, directly in a quiet moment, and just be realistic with yourself, because you might really be so busy that you forget and probably get confused with the direction that you're supposed to take, because then there's just so much going on. You're just involved in everything, everywhere. And so you don't get time to sit and actually rank yourself or mark your progress and really, evaluate yourself and give yourself marks, if I can say so, for better, outcomes next time, or just appreciation, self-appreciation for the efforts and progress that you have made. So I think that's what I wanted to say. And I just introduced the topic to show how, it is important to really just evaluate yourself. It could be career-wise, as I said, it could be in your personal life, it could be in any other thing that you undertake. Just evaluate yourself along the way. It could be at the end of whatever it is you had set yourself to do. It could be in the middle, just to probably just adjust things around if you feel like you're not going at the pace that you expected from the beginning. You don't have to wait until the end. If you identify something that is, does not quite look good and satisfactory enough for you, maybe you were supposed to finish a project in like 2 weeks, but it feels like it's taking longer than expected. Or maybe the progress that you feel like you have achieved now is not really how far, or the far that you had wished to be by now. You can probably just stop and think more about what is it that is probably blocking you, what is it that is limiting you, why are you not doing as you expected, or maybe redefine, the goals. Maybe you had not set quite realistic goals that are measurable and attainable. Maybe you had given yourself quite strict and very how could I say, very, very, very not flexible deadlines. And so that is probably putting you under pressure, and now you cannot really focus and just take it slow and step by step, because then you probably did not set the really appropriate dates and deadlines. So you can sit back and just think about it again. So I think for me, the goal is really to achieve, as I always say, the goal is not just to tick things off, but to do it well, to do it and successfully, and achieve the goal or the objective and feel actually happy about the results. It's not just about knowing that I've ticked something off the list. I have ticked this. I had 2 weeks. I've done like 10 projects and I'm done with them. It's not about just ticking them off, but I think it is just about actually doing things well and successfully, and actually being proud of what you did, looking back and feel accomplished in a way, if I could say, yeah. And especially also looking back and appreciate maybe the challenges that you are facing or you faced, so that then you are able to know them, identify them, and probably come up with a solution to them. So I think that's what I have to say about, the importance of self-assessment, self-evaluation, and how this can really help you in, in a more general way in whatever you do at a personal level, at professional level, any other sphere in your life, Yeah, so thank you so much for listening. I will invite, yes, anyone else? Yes, Noah. Thank you. You can go ahead.
Okay. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So, for me, the importance of self-assessment and evaluation, it's very key. One of the things that I can say here is that self-assessment is equal to self-awareness. Yeah. Because you are assessing yourself. It literally means that you are aware about yourself. And then I can say, because you made mention about, it does not mean only within a working environment, within your personal self. So I do believe that self-assessment fosters personal and professional development, because if you are in the habit of assessing yourself, it means that you are ready to know what you want to do. Because one, I believe that it enables you to set clear and realistic goals as an individual. Because whenever you are assessing yourself, you might find some weaknesses, although at the same time you might find some strength again. But for you, your concern should be more about what are some of your weaknesses, because you want to grow in your career development, in your professional life. You want to grow. So, and if you want to grow, I do believe you need to assess yourself. You need to make a proper evaluation about yourself. So you see, it's very key. It's very key for you to do that. So another thing again is about, just like how I mentioned, when you are doing self-assessment, you take cognizance of your weakness. Yeah. Although, yeah, some might say, you know what, it's about your strength. Yeah, it's fine for you to know some of your strengths, but because you want to go, if you focus much about your strengths, and then you think less about your weaknesses, I don't think you can have your required results that you want. Another thing again about self-assessment is about encouraging accountability within our side. Because it will be very clear here that, you know what, this and this that I am actually doing, they are not yielding the result, or they are not bringing growth to me. Then you hold yourself accountable about what you want even in your personal life, your professional and development. You hold yourself accountable, and so it's like you are taking ownership of whatever thing is happening to you. Yeah, it's like you're taking ownership. And that's very key whenever we are making or taking, whenever we are assessing ourselves. It's about, it shows that we are really ready to show that we are really ready to own our results. Whatever thing is happening in our life, we are the drivers of whatever thing is happening towards us. So you see, it's very, very important. And then, just like I mentioned earlier on, that when you are assessing yourself, it's like you want to set clear and realistic goals, smart goals, because you might have seen your weaknesses, you might have known your strengths. So then now what you do, you focus your mindset towards your weaknesses, and then set realistic goals that can enable you to see results, goals that will enable you to see to welcome growth in your life. And then it also enable you to have clear communications with your colleagues within the working environment. That is very, very key. Yeah, you might and I don't know. Okay, it was the last time we were discussing. I might I might think that, oh, all what I'm doing it well. I'm doing everything That's the best of my knowledge. It's like I'm okay with what I'm doing. But there is someone out there that will notice that, oh, you know what, Noah? Maybe what this and this that you're doing is not okay. He or she might be afraid to come out there and tell you that, you know what you're doing is not okay. Yeah. So, but if it can happen if you are not discussing with them. But if you have that kind of core relationship with them, you discuss with them, trust me, they might be able to tell you what are some of your weakness, where you need to put some improvement. That is very, very important. Whenever you are doing self-assessment, you need to make yourself be known to others. Try to discuss with people, because for you yourself, you can just grade yourself like, oh, okay, in terms of this, I'm good. In terms of this, I'm good. In terms of, yeah, you might have the 100% that you are seeking for. But trust me, that's not what you are looking for. Whenever you are doing self-assessment, you want to see where you are lacking, your lapses, because you want to do something great. So for me, this is my own take on this topic. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Noel, for that. And yes, of course, just like you have said, it's really just a way for you to see, what are you doing? What progress are you making? How good are you at this point? What do you need to improve on? And I think I like also the notion of probably giving other people, the opportunity to also help you, just identify things that you might not see yourself, what weaknesses you have, just letting other people around you, the people that you're associated with, to just give you that feedback and tell you what they think. Because of course, we are social beings. In whatever we do, we somehow will depend, on each other. And so it doesn't matter. You might be working on a personal project, personal goal, but it's definitely going to touch a person next to you in a way. So letting the people around you, maybe the people that you trust, if you feel like, you cannot let just anyone in your business, in quotes, sorry. But it's also good to know, because sometimes we might struggle to know ourselves well. We might actually think that we know ourselves, and we understand ourselves better, and so not really give that chance to just hear from the third party, to the next person to you. So I think it's also good to just allow that, to be flexible enough to listen to also the people around you. That open-mindedness, I think, is also quite important for you to learn about yourself, and also pick something from the people around you. So yes, thank you for your contribution, Noah. I'd like to invite anyone else who has something to contribute. Please feel free. Welcome.
Good morning, everyone.
Thank you.
Hope you're doing well. Yeah, thanks for giving this opportunity. So I just want to add something today. We can say self-assessment is a process to achieve something. So as we see, see, before joining Moracle, I don't have confidence of speaking in front of people. But it's a progress. Self-assessment is a progress. I'm assessing myself to speak up something daily. I don't know what topic is, and maybe it could be a random topic, or maybe it could be anything. I want to speak up something to improve myself. So like I can say that self-assessment is a process which to achieve something. Maybe one day I want to become a good speaker, so that I need to assess myself daily to achieve something in a long term. So as you can see, like if I want to be a full timer in the future, so I want to assess myself that whether I'm doing work daily, or whether I'm doing like I need to know my strength, I need to know my weakness, and I need to know what are the opportunities available. I need to know everything. So like we can say that it's a process. So like what you can say, we need to we need to like know our progress. If there is whether there is a progress in a daily life process or not, we need to know everything. So yeah, like we can say it's a process. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Skesh, for that. I think yes, that's quite a good addition to note. It's a process, yes, because then you cannot really learn about everything in one time, yeah. So it is a continuous process where every day you pick something, every period that you evaluate yourself, you pick something and plan how to improve on it next time, or learn how to appreciate what you have done now and compare that to what is happens next time. So yes, it is a process in which every day, every period, every after a certain period, you can learn to make progress or improve on something, or even get much better than you are last time. So yes, thank you for that, Kesh. Yes, welcome, Robert.
Yeah, hello, good morning, everyone, and thank you for this topic. Importance of self-assessment, stroke evaluation. I think for us, for say our firm, self-evaluation ensures the accuracy and integrity of what we do, of say the financial statements, which enhances the overall quality of say the auditing for those who are doing the auditing, and all the reports. So that quality assurance will only come if you assess yourself and see, have I done the right thing and have I done it in the best way possible? Because there are so many factors to consider when we are doing whatever we do in our business. The other thing is identifying and addressing weaknesses, like Noah just said. But for us, say in the accounting procedures, which reduces risks of errors or discrepancies, again, in the financial statements which we deal with, and that promotes reliability. So that risk mitigation is very important for the integrity of the work which we do. The other thing which I can think of is, say, pinpointing inefficiencies, again, in the processes, say, in auditing processes. This allows for the implementation of streamlined, say, procedures, which saves time and resources. So the efficiency improvement, only if you self-assess yourself and see how fast or how smart you may be in what you are doing. We are being helped with the advancement in technologies, the trainings. So all these help. But again, even when you've had the training, you've had the qualification, with time, you've got to review, you've got to assess yourself. Also, self-assessment encourages staying abreast of industry changes, because the world changes so much. There are so many things which change now and again. So you've got to stay abreast in, say, in accounting principles, technological advancements, which fosters adaptability to new challenges. So again, it's the self-assessment or evaluation which will lead you to such. Yeah, that's my contribution. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Robert. Thank you for that. Thank you for bringing up the idea that, self-assessment actually also helps you to learn and discover new advancements, really, that you can adopt, to improve yourself or your processes. So, of course, without forgetting, just like you have said, the everyday changing work environment, trends and innovations, or all these innovative advancement, technological, anything, using, for example, what you just mentioned, maybe in the auditing, there are different processes, there may be different platforms or softwares or whatever it is that you really use as a resource in that example, for example. When you sit and actually identify the gaps, you identify where you're not doing quite well. When you get that time to just sit and self-evaluate probably, then you get to discover solutions to address those gaps. And these solutions are not just maybe to do it faster next time, maybe to acquire more information next time. It could just be a skill that you need to acquire, or it could be some important information that you're missing and that you really need to go out there and get and, and improve your processes next time. So I think it is quite an opportunity for each and everyone really to just get better and, do better and appreciate the good efforts and capabilities that you have. Because we are not saying every time you self-evaluate, that means you didn't do well, there's a problem, but you can self-evaluate, you can self-assess and still find that you did well, you did actually well. And so it's an opportunity for you to appreciate yourself as well, to appreciate your efforts and build that confidence and actually be aware that you are capable of doing something. And, like they say, the sky is always the limit. Then you're able to probably know, okay, yes, I did well, but then I think the goal is to just be better every day, to be even much better than you are yesterday. So thank you so much for those contributions. And I think we have just a few minutes. I would like to invite the next person who has something to contribute to this discussion. Please feel free, you're welcome. Okay, so I guess we are good. We have talked extensively, I hope. And thank you for your contribution. Thank you for listening. Thank you for making the time to be here this morning. I will wish you all